All right.
Hello! Thank you for coming to this live stream today, everybody. This is kind of just going to be really a celebration of Cardano, and it's going to be an AMA at the end. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I was going to give away some ADA, but Anthony over here told me that was a terrible idea because of all the giveaway scams that are currently on YouTube. One of the first comments that we actually had today was send pay 1,000 ADA, and he sends 2,000 back. So I think that the giving away ADA idea might be the worst idea in history. So we will be giving away some Cardano and some Bloom t-shirts today. We'll probably be giving away like 5 around there, maybe a little bit more, depending. But it's kind of just going to be a celebration day. It's not really going to be anything informational or educational unless you guys kind of ask a question that's like that, and then I'll answer it, because it is going to be an AMA style. Anthony also put together a Cardano history lesson for us today. I was supposed to be a part of that, but I forgot. So the history man of Cardano today is Anthony, the co-founder of Bloom. We've done half history lesson. Yeah, I was supposed to do the other half, but thank you guys all for coming today. It's just going to be a casual, fun live stream. So it's I think we already got demonetized, so it's not going to be anything special, but it's just going to be a fun celebration of Cardano's 3rd birthday. So, how are you doing today, Anthony?
Well, Pay, thanks for having me on. I love these lives. They're always a good time, and I look forward to them. So here we go. Happy birthday, Cardano.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cardano, man. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Casey, Motivation Niche. I think you got that shirt there too. Yeah, he sent me one of these in the mail, man. I like his design. So if you guys want to check out his website, let me send that in the chat real quick, so I can give him a shout out. Yep. So I did just paste that link in the description. But how are you guys all doing today? It's gonna be a little AMA style. Dude, I'm in the yeah, I know, but dude, I'm such in the habit of not saying anything bad or negative on my live streams that me saying that was, you know what I mean? So everyone's saying happy 3rd, hi, happy birthday. I really appreciate y'all joining today. We got Jay Soul, we got the Crypto Chiropractor, Thomas Baker, Jay Money, Daniel A, Imonti, Paris, happy birthday. What's up, man? How are you guys all doing today? I really appreciate you swinging by today. Make sure you guys check out Motivation Niche Outlet. We will be giving away some t-shirts today. I was just going to pick random people out of the chat to give the t-shirts away to. Anthony told me that is a terrible, unfair idea. So
you get a shirt.
Yeah, I was trying to be like Oprah, man. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, we're demonetized, so I'm just going for it.
Yeah, it's fine, man. It's fine. You got the Cardano mug, man. The summit.
I do. So I got this mug from who was Crypto Supreme, right? Mm-hmm. And I ordered 2 mugs. No, I ordered 2 shirts and 2 mugs. I got in the mail 1 shirt, and then I got a mug a week later, and then I got a 2nd mug, and I got an extra mug, and I'm still waiting on my shirt. So I don't know what happened, because that was about 3 months ago during the summit.
For the summit. Free mug, man. Free mug.
Yeah.
You might have to wait a little longer, but
it was a trade.
It's worth it, man. I guess. Yeah. Thomas Baker said, doing great, man. Just blowing off work for this. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for swinging by. We're just shooting the shit today, so I don't really do too many shooting the shit live streams, so I thought this would be the one. I think the last one that we did like this was the Bloom block party, where we actually got the 8th block in history, at least the 8th block to a stake pool. So that was pretty cool.
That was really
If you guys do like this, just the shooting the shit live streams, I've been thinking about doing more of these on my 2nd channel. But we're just celebrating the history, man. Happy ADA Day to all. I think it was actually yesterday, but we're a day late, man. Still happy either way.
I think Rick is in Japan, so he was a day ahead. So he wished everyone happy birthday on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, oh, we are a day late. And he said, no, I'm in the future. So he's in Japan. It was already the 29th yesterday for him.
See, So I looked up what day it was in Japan after he said that, and it said it was the same day. So I'm not sure, man. I'm really not.
It's definitely not the same. Well, I guess it depends on what time it is. I suppose it could be the same day.
Yeah,
Opposite.
For sure. Daniel A said, "Yeah, go broke for you're demonetized." Yep. Oh, there goes $10, man. Tears.
Oh, bummer.
Happy Ada Day to all from Kimmer. Ryan gave me the... Martin Lang came by. What's up, man? Make sure you guys check out at Ada Steak Pool. He's an awesome dude. He said, happy birthday, Ada.
Great pool.
Daniel A said, yeah, I was here for the First Bloom block live stream. That was an awesome live stream, man. That was definitely probably my favorite. Crypto Chiropractor said, I'll take a shirt, haha. So pay. Do you know if multi-owner pools will eventually support reward going to 2 wallets? Ideally, it would allow SBO to enter and split the cost of overhead too. Yeah, I think they're actually working on that currently. I'm not sure really how they would go about splitting up the rewards to 2 wallets. I think unless it was like a 50-50 style, but I mean, if you're going into business with somebody, man, you should trust them to be able to send you the rewards at the end of the day from the rewards wallet. If not, I wouldn't go into business with that person. Max Doyer said, you can never have too many mugs, my friend. That's true.
Right.
I would like one of those Summit mugs. It might be too late. Sonny said, yo, pay. Do you?
Yeah, you shipped me an extra one.
I should have snatched it while I was there, man. But that and the chat floss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You guys gotta check this out.
Yeah, this is another invention from Motivation Niche right here. He's one of the best inventors I've ever talked to, man. Chat floss. It's lip balm on one side, floss on the other. It's very convenient.
Genius.
Martin said,
genius.
Pay is the man. Love your videos. I appreciate it, man. I've really been trying to put a lot more effort into him lately, so hopefully you guys notice. John said, I switched from a 50 million pool to a 75 million. I hope I'll get more rewards. You probably won't. That's not big of a jump in terms of minimum cost per epoch. So unless that second pool is luckier, you're probably not going to get much rewards from it unless they're charging a shit ton less in fees. You know? The chiropractor said, oh yeah, he said, I'll take a shirt. Then you got a shirt, man. Just join the Discord server afterwards. I'll send you a shirt. Okay.
That's how we pick the winners.
There's one. You just asked for one, then. He's the first one, man. Asking, thee shall receive. You just gotta, yeah, well, go ahead.
Crypto Chiropractor, do you post your videos online? Because I am addicted to watching chiropractic videos. I don't know why. It gives me some sort of joy.
Really?
I think, yeah. Yeah, I think I would have been a chiropractor if I didn't choose the profession that I'm in.
Dude, they make good money for only having to do 4 years of school.
Yeah, but I don't think it's just 4 years. I think they have to.
It depends on the state, man. But really? I mean, they might have to do an intern. But the guy that I was talking to, because I actually got into a wreck 2 years ago, and the guy that I was talking to said he did 4 years of school. Right out of school, there's so much money going around in chiropractic that he literally just moved to Italy with his girlfriend and was just doing it there and making a shit ton of money, and then moved back and was still doing it here and started his own business immediately just after 4 years of school. And I was like, really? 4 years, man? Because I wasn't really informed on what a chiropractor was. I thought that you had to be educated more, the usual 8 years and then medical school and blah, 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 but apparently not.
Well, they're considered doctors, but it's a DO, not an MD. I think it's DO is right. Is the right acronym for it.
He did, yeah. Read the reply from Crypto Chiropractor. He replied to you.
The videos are blowing up these days. I believe it, man. I believe it.
No, he said the Cairo videos are. He said he's recorded a few. Oh, okay. I thought you said crypto.
Yeah, I believe it.
It must be the sound of the bones cracking.
It's gotta be.
That's funny. So, like, do you learn from them? And then, like...
No,
you just watch them?
Try any of that. I've only been to the chiropractor once, and it was when I was injured. So I haven't gone there just as like a thing. I do jujitsu, so I feel like that's enough. I get cracked around enough. So uh, I guess when I'm injured, I'll go. I should start going routinely because I know it's good for you. But yeah, I just enjoy the videos. I don't know why. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just a weird,
Yeah, it's
weird thing.
yeah. I mean, I enjoy like deep, deep cryptocurrency videos, like whiteboards and going into the tech and like that. Like the first live stream I did with Sebastian, I've had a lot of people say like that was like boring, man. Like you guys were kind of too in the weeds for me. And then like when in reality, I'm sitting there listening to every word. Like, man, this is so interesting. You know, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of like little niche things that people like. Like one of my best friends, Camden, he watches people take apart things. Like they'll just take apart like just random technology stuff. And I was over at his house last week, and he's like, "Hey man, watch this. It's really cool." I'm like, "Dude, this is boring. Like this is so boring. It's just like some British man like, okay, now this is the motherboard and this little thing, and just like slowly picking it apart." And I'm like, yeah, and then like a lot of people like watching zip popping videos too. I don't get that,
It's interesting the trends that end up becoming popular, and some of the videos that become popular. It's just like, you watch a video that's just ridiculous and it has 10 million views, and you're like, this person just got paid for this. Like, how?
Yeah, I was watching. There's this. I like comedy a lot, and I found this guy named Tom Segura from Joe Rogan, and he did this private. So he does a lot of live streams on YouTube, but he realized that he would be demonetized and his channel might get banned if he did this. So he actually charged people $10 or $15 to go to his private website to watch not safe for work videos with him and his wife, and they posted a couple clips afterwards on Twitter because Twitter doesn't really block anything. And they were watching some crazy stuff, man. Like people putting like just crazy stuff in their assholes. And I'm like, people really paid $15 to watch people insert stuff into their asshole with the comedian commentating over it. It's demonetized, man. It's Cardano's third birthday, man.
Oh,
We're shooting the shit.
You're getting into the deep side of just the internet and some of the shit that people pay for. I mean, okay, so there's someone I know. On a different note, there's someone I know that uses TikTok, and TikTok, they're able to create an account and obtain like 100,000 users and 300,000 views on any given video within a 2-week time frame. I don't know how you cycle through that many people that fast, because like, you do YouTube and you get up to 2,000 views on a video, and that's like a big thing. And or 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and you get a gold plaque. So how does TikTok reach out to that many people that quickly? You could put any content out there, and why doesn't YouTube do something similar to their marketing strategy?
Yeah, it is really interesting, just like how many users there are on TikTok and how fast that app actually grew. It is insane. I mean, yeah, like 100,000. I mean, it would take me, like, if I run this channel and do what I'm doing now, like at the current rate, it would probably take me a few years to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Right.
And that's if the current rate keeps up. Max Dorer said Tom Segura is kind of whack. Yeah, I don't really like his podcast. I didn't pay to get into that live stream, but I do like some of his stand-up. The one he released most recently was actually pretty funny. I like it.
So where did I do with that?
Are we starting the Cardano history?
I can.
Let's go.
If you want.
Yeah, let's go.
Geronimo Cardano. I tried to say that correctly. I butchered that. I'm sorry. Was born on the 24th of September in 1501. He was an Italian polymath, mathematician, physician, biologist, physicist, chemist, astrologer, astronomer, philosopher, writer, and gambler. He was one of the most influential mathematicians in the Renaissance. Sounds like someone I think everyone here knows. Yeah. He's well known today for his achievements in algebra. In his 1545 book, Ars Manga, never read it. He made the first systematic use of negative numbers in Europe.
That's pretty crazy. It's funny that you said that you never read it after that. I would be so surprised if you actually read that book.
Well, now I might have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's nice is like we're kind of in a hybrid phase in Cardano right now. You know, like before this, we were in the Byron era, you know, the federated model, where all the blocks are being produced by IOHK. And not only are we in a hybrid phase with Shelley, you know, I think we're sitting at like 38% of the blocks being made by stake pools. And you still have a bunch of them being made by IOHK. So we're in like a hybrid Shelley phase where we're kind of federated, we're kind of decentralized in the Shelley phase. And then also we kind of have a centralized voting system right now. You know, we haven't voted, but soon, I think it was October 21st, we're actually going to be voting in the app, which is really interesting. And I'm excited to see the data that comes out on whether we're actually going to be voting on chain or if that's going to be voting through a centralized federated model. Because currently all of the ideas are listed on the Catalyst website, you know, so we're kind of like in a hybrid phase right now in Cardano where we're in a federated voting stage. We're in like a federated block making stage, and I'm sure Goguen will be the same way, you know. So it's going to be weird in a few months when you start having like the Goguen testnet out, and it's going to be me playing around with these dApps and me learning how to build with these tools because I am going to be developing dApps on Cardano for sure, right? So I'll be like kind of I've had my place in the voting system, you know. I'm a stake pool operator, and then also it's going to be interesting being in that hybrid phase because we might be in a hybrid phase between all three of the eras. You know, you have Byron, and then you have Shelley, and then you have the Voltaire phase, and then the Goguen phase, and then after that is the scalability with Basho, you know. So I think between Shelley, Voltaire, and Goguen, we're going to be in a hybrid phase with still a federated model between all three of them within the next 6 to 8 months, which is going to be really interesting.
Right. Yeah, the transitional periods like we are in right now, you know, I'm not a huge fan of idea scale or how it works, you know. I just didn't find it user-friendly or as user-friendly as I think IOHK would put something together or Emergo would put something together. So I'm looking forward to see what they come up with for voting and voting systems. Since they're using idea scale, you know, they had to give us a voting platform in a relatively short time frame. And obviously, if Voltaire's not ready to launch, they have to give us something. So it works. I mean, it doing its job for now. I just pulled it up. And by the way, congratulations on your 110 kudos, man.
Am I at 110 now?
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the support, everyone. It's really cool to be able to make something about something that's so technical and really the only way to actually make things profitable on the internet is really through, like, at least content creating is through YouTube, you know, and you have to worry about kind of the censoring of YouTube, right? They don't really like cryptocurrency channels. They don't like it when people cuss. They don't like it when people say anything that they don't agree with. And eventually there could come a time where they just don't like cryptocurrency. You know, you have all of these Charles Hoskinson videos that are fake that are saying, send me 1,000 ADA and I'll send you 2,000 back. YouTube probably views that as cryptocurrency being a scam, even though there's a lot of smart people there. When a lot of the content that you have coming out are just scams. You know, I see bots every day post these videos with, 70,000 people watching, which is the same amount of viewers that a Trump thing will get. Like CBC will be doing an interview with Trump, and it'll have like 70,000 viewers, right? So then you have
acquired that many people.
Bots. They pay a lot of money to get all these bots because, dude, the live streams, because people report them so quickly now, I've seen these live streams only be up for 5 minutes. So they're paying a lot of money to have 70,000 different users, all from different IP addresses, to all view it at the same time, to all type fake comments. Like and you can tell they're making money off of it because it's a very curated scam. You know what I mean? So then you have a big platform like YouTube where you have the people that aren't very knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. They haven't been scammed yet in their life, or they're just not smart enough to figure out that no one's going to send you double the money for sending them money.
Yeah.
And a big platform is going to realize, okay, most of the content coming out from cryptocurrency is scams. So then I've heard people I know everybody hates Chico, but I do feel bad for him because all of his videos get shadow banned immediately. And even if they are, a lot of it's really trashy content where it's DeFi yield farming, how to make $1 million. But even videos that aren't that, because he makes those videos, automatically get shadow banned. And when your video gets shadow banned, they don't tell you. What happens is when you look at the YouTube analytics, you have this growth scale where they're the lower end you'll end up here, the higher end you'll end up here. It's kind of like the binomial probability distribution for our blocks each epoch. And you can watch it. His videos they'll go on that scale, and then it'll just stop. One little stop, and then it'll stay the same forever. And that's the second that YouTube actually stops promoting the video because it got shadow banned by the algorithm, and they don't even tell you that it happens. So what a lot of content creators do is they re-upload the video, but then it'll just get shadow banned again, and then it starts to make your content not as viewable, especially if you have notifications on. For example, if you guys turn the notifications on my channel and I upload a video every day and then it gets shadow banned and I re-upload it, you guys are going to get 5 notifications every 3 days, and that's going to get annoying. So then my notifications aren't as important. So it's nice that we have a way to fund the Cardano effect, the Cardano aura, and anyone else making content. So I don't have to chase YouTube views. I don't have to chase YouTube money. I don't have to make how to be a millionaire with Cardano overnight, because that's not realistic, right? It's cool that we have a decentralized system, or what will be decentralized, that can actually fund the people that bring value and add value to the ecosystem by curating content. Because I get people every day that say, hey, Big Pay, I found your channel and I found Cardano because of your channel. And I still to this day, I have no idea how they do that, because my videos are kind of in the weeds. But I think a lot of people in the future are going to find Cardano through viewing content on YouTube. I think YouTube is one of the really, for me at least, I might be a weird demographic, but I learn about most of the content that I learn from YouTube, or either articles on other websites, and YouTube's nice because it pushes things for you without having to pay that advertising revenue, so people that are interested in cryptocurrency will see a Big Pay video pop up. And what they always tell me is, I can see your passion for Cardano, and that's why I started looking into it and researching it myself, because I can tell that you're so passionate about it. So I do think a lot of people really are angry that a lot of the proposals are podcast. And I agree. We can't just fund 50 podcasts, because it's going to become a saturated market. No one's going to view 50 podcasts, and the ROI on funding so many podcasts is going to go down after the first few. But I do feel like YouTubers and content creators do add a lot more value to the ecosystem than really people let on,
Right. Yes, I agree. You can reach a wider spectrum, and people just resort to YouTube because it's the fastest way to consume information. I get an alert on my phone that so-and-so made a video. I can hop on and I'm all up to date, as fast as they are putting out the information. So I could see the utility in YouTube, and that's probably why IOHK has brought on their own YouTuber, and they just want to tap into that same exact market. So yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I do. And I think it was really smart of them to hire David, because he's been on the ground. I don't know for how long, but I'm pretty sure he's been here for a couple years. So he knows how the algorithm works. He knows what works well. He knows what videos YouTube's going to push. He knows how to create thumbnails. He knows how to create good content. So a lot of the people at IOHK are very technical, but having someone on their side who's technical, who's been in the space for a while, that can also create content that the YouTube algorithm will like on their big channels. Because if you look at IOHK's channel and their Twitter, they have a shit ton of subscribers and a shit ton of followers, So if they start curating content like that, they'll really start getting pushed a lot, and people are going to be intrinsically interested in Cardano. I'm really excited for that. Charles Hoskinson just did an interview with Ben Gortzel on my Cardano Summit live stream. Really, I think it was the first day, the very end of the day. It was like 7 o'clock at night. It was Ben Gortzel coming on, and it was my first time seeing him in a couple years, other than the Joe Rogan interview that he did. Yep. And he was sitting there with his infamous like leopard print hat or cheetah print hat with his long hair, and he's like, "All right, well, let's talk about a decentralized AI marketplace." And I was like, here we go, man, you know? And that was honestly, it's crazy. That was one of my favorite presentations at the summit, was the Ben Gortzel presentation, even though it was a Cardano summit, you know?
Right.
And I'm really excited for that interview, and it's going to be cool seeing, I wonder if David had any part of that too, but it's going to be cool seeing Charles do interviews with other people in the cryptocurrency space. And a lot of people are actually guessing that he's going to be the one, because Charles said there's an Ethereum project that's moving over to Cardano. He dropped that in his live stream, and a lot of people think it's Ben Gortzel. He think that SingularityNet is going to be the one moving over here because they just made that interview. And if you watched his AMA the other day, I'm not like, no fake news here, don't take what I'm saying, but it seemed like he was dropping hints that Ben Gortzel was going to be moving SingularityNet over here, or at least having, you know, a different version of SingularityNet on both systems, you know. So
interesting guess. It's an interesting guess. I hadn't heard that yet. I heard Uniswap was going to come over, and I don't know. I never really dove into it. I just don't have enough time to worry about it ahead of time. But that's an interesting guess, because I hadn't heard that yet. And I've seen a list of different things. Well, most of it was Uniswap. Yeah,
and really, I feel like Uniswap's too big, you know. I mean, they would like to for the fees, but just the way he said that, and then also that he has that interview with Ben Gortzel coming out, just kind of led me to believe that. I do want to take a second to look at the chat real quick here. Max Doyer said ball hog. Yep, that's what I was talking about. The most recent one from Tom Segura, if you're still here, Max. Imanti said, try Cinnamon. It's a good alternative to YouTube. I'll have to check that out, man. Thomas said, I'm sorry, YT. I thought this was America. No, this is YouTube, man. They run the show. P. Brighton said, hey, you like it? What do I like, man? Sorry, you asked that question a little bit ago. Daniel A. said, I found Cardano first on YouTube. Yeah, me too, man. I mean, it was kind of Charles's whiteboard video, so it was from IOHK, but I did find Cardano on YouTube. Edwin said, Big Pay, I staked a large amount to Bloom 2. Love you. Thanks, man. I love you. Thank you for supporting Bloom, man. Yeah, Bloom 2 has been killing it lately, man. Dude, look at the rewards on Bloom 2 for the past, like, 4 or 5 epochs. It's just been a murder spree, man.
You know, but when Bloom 2 first came out, it was a nightmare. It was like the problem child. I think it had a 49% epoch. It was like...
Yeah, it did.
It was the worst thing ever.
And it was oh my God. It was the third epoch, too. So right. I had a bunch of people messaging me like, man, is everything on fire? Because, I mean, if you have a data set of n equals 2 or n equals 3, where if you want to start at 0 or 1, and you have a 50%, so if you have a 100, and then a 50%, that completely kills your data, right? And that's why it was just...
The whole percent dipped. It went into the 4% return.
Yeah, and that...
The first 2 epochs were 5.5%.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have a 3 or 2% return epoch.
And then the epoch after that, we had like a 6.1%, and it still didn't get us out of 4, you know?
Yeah. And then people were like, well, was the pool up all epoch? I was like, statistically, it was up half the epoch. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I have 2 different methods for checking if the pools are up every minute. So essentially, I have them set up at different intervals. So it's like every 30 seconds, it's pinging the nodes to see if they're up. And I have a system that'll automatically start them up if they go down. And then even though I have it automatically start them up, I have it set up to where it'll give me a phone call. And I will wake up in the middle of the night, even though I have a system to check it. And it's never failed. It's never not put it back up. I still will wake up in the middle of the night to check it.
The longest a Bloom pool node will ever be down is 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's rechecked every 30 seconds and pinged. So That's pretty.
Yeah, and then you have your 24/7 IT support guy over here, and you can tell the servers are doing great because there's no bags under my eyes. Jose said, I staked all of my ADA with Bloom 2. I appreciate that, man. If you come to the Discord server afterwards, I'll give you a t-shirt.
Crypto Trades. I think Crypto Trades is the person that hit me up on Discord. That's the question that I forwarded over to you. I can't pull up Discord because we're doing our live through it, but maybe you can. Yeah, they were having a problem with just removing the rewards. I think if you remove the rewards, your whatever your wallet balance is will stay delegated. Is that in Yuri?
Yeah. Yeah, so in Yuri, I'm probably going to make a video about this on my second channel. Just claiming your Roy's on Yuri or your Roy. You always say Yuri. You and Michael say Yuri, so it always confuses me.
Roy.
Yeah, you're Roy. It's cool. Yeah, I say things wrong all the time.
Is
so.
it Epoch or Epic?
I see.
Heard other options of it. What was
I
it?
say Epoch, but I think Charles says Epic, and I trust his pronunciation of it more.
Yeah, everyone says Epic. Everyone says it's Epic. I've heard lots of people say Epoch though, and like people within IOHK.
Yeah, Thomas said same. I watch all YouTube to learn. Big Pay was the second ADA channel I was recommended. I really like the idea of a community coming together and growing, and that's the thing, man. Is I'm asking for funding initially, but I would like to get my funding from external sources, like in the future. But currently, there's no route for me to do that because we're kind of in a weird phase with cryptocurrency. But I think if the value of ADA increases, and like we all think it's going to do, the YouTube cryptocurrency game is going to go up. I'm going to get a lot more viewers, and I'm going to be able to monetize in different ways, so I won't have to come back to the DC fund, unless it doesn't increase anytime soon, Uniswap, I don't think so. Yeah, it's just, I don't think so either. And Uniswap, I'd love that. High Pay, I wanted to send the rewards on you. Oh, okay, I see the question. They were added to my total delegated. Yeah, so you just need to send that amount to the other wallet if you want to delegate that amount to another pool or just delegate it again to the other wallet. You'll just have to send that exact amount of the rewards that you claimed to the other wallet. Because when you click that claim rewards button, all it does is it claims the staking rewards from your hidden staking address in your ROI and adds it to the ADDR1 address. And those are the ADDR1 addresses are the addresses that you see and that you can send and receive ADA from. The stake addresses are hidden underneath. And if you're a stake pool operator, you'll know about those. And you're essentially just taking that ADA out of the stake address, claiming the rewards, and sending it to the normal UTXO with ADDR1. Hope that helps, Crypto Trades. More Than Lifting said AGI on ADA would be big in a year or two. I agree completely, man. I would love to, and that's what's okay. So this is what I'm so excited about is because my YouTube videos are limited to ADA, right? And I like it that way. I mean, all of my content's about ADA. It's what I'm most passionate about. But think about when Gogan's out and there's other cryptocurrencies being built on top of ADA. And there's other stuff built on ADA that bring value to the ecosystem, Someone's building a protocol like Uniswap on top of Cardano. I get to have that person, if they would like to come, on the Cardano or a podcast. And if they sell me on that idea, they sell you guys on that idea, and they're building it, I get to make videos and guides on the protocols that are being built on top of Cardano because they're bringing value to ADA, and I'm really excited for all the projects that are coming in the future, because then it's just, it's going to be a lot more for me to talk about, and I'm really excited for that.
Right. I'm looking forward to the ERC20 converter.
Yeah, for sure.
Wrapping coins.
Yeah,
about Bitcoin and wrapping Litecoin
Yeah, I've been playing around a little bit with Ethereum. I've also been playing around with Binance's chain too. I'm just trying to get more knowledgeable about everything. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to have wrapped Bitcoin on top of Cardano, and really just wrapped ETH,
How'd you enjoy playing with Ether and swapping coins? You
spent
what, $20 trying to do that, a stake, right?
I spent 60.
Trying to stake?
Yeah, in 3 days, I spent $60 on Ethereum.
And how long is it going to take you to get that 60 back?
Because I was playing around with a decent amount of money. I was playing around with like $5,000 because there's a coin that I wanted to stake that I like, and so the issue was I didn't really know how to mess around with MetaMask. So MetaMask is a wallet in the browser. It kind of reminds me of Yoroi, to be honest with you. And it pops up in a little box. And I had all of my money on Ledger because it made me feel more secure, because then I wasn't just going to press the wrong button because I have to confirm it on the Ledger, right? And I clicked a button, and I didn't realize how long Ethereum transactions actually take to go through, sometimes 7 or 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I only should have spent about $30. Not only, that's a lot of money to do a couple things. And what happened was the transaction wasn't going through, and I'm used to Cardano where my transactions go through in 20 seconds, Right. So it wasn't going through, so I clicked check, and it didn't work. I waited 5 minutes, didn't work. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll just do it again. So I clicked it again. Still nothing. I was like, I'll just do it again. Clicked it. I did it 6 times, spent like $5 a piece each transaction, and just burned $25.
What are you, noob?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was, an Ethereum noob, just burning money on the Ethereum.
Get out! I haven't gotten my money yet.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have the Ethereum miners like,
yep.
Yeah, thanks you Ada loser.
We'll process that through.
Yeah. So then what I was doing is I was withdrawing a little amount, and like from the amount that I already had staked. And because it wasn't going through and I redid it over and over again, I ended up just withdrawing the whole amount.
So you didn't stake.
Yes. Well, then after all that, I had to restake it.
So my experience with Ethereum was great.
Yeah. Well, okay. So to give Ethereum some credit, it's a lot of fun. It's cool to have other tokens in your ecosystem. It's cool to be able to do other things. It's cool to be able to provide liquidity to exchanges, to provide liquidity to decentralized protocols. It's cool to participate in decentralized finance. It's cool to, like, because ADA is a utility token. We're all here for the utility of ADA. We're all here for the future. And to actually be able to have a token that has more utility than just staking is awesome. And I'm going to feel the same way when we're all voting, vote for my podcast, the Cardano Aura, on October 21st, when we're all voting. It's going to be cool because that's the utility to our token. Right. Other than just staking,
It'll be nice to see a voting system that is fair and can't be corrupted or twisted or counterfeited. It's just going to be, I understand what Charles says, his message, when he goes on those political rants and a lot of people leave, and he had made a comment the other day. He's like, that's part of the problem if you want to leave when I get into this and start addressing it. But this is the whole purpose of building it. So Voltaire, voting for podcasts are cool and voting for Spakra is cool. But really, when we vote for the next president is cool. That, and it's an uncorrupted, non-broken system. When we finally vote our first president on the Cardano network using Voltaire, that's going to be cool. Yeah, that's the type of cool that I look forward to.
And I can't wait. I think it's far out, man. But you have a lot of people that are worried about mail-in voting right now. So
good reason.
Yeah, but it's just, it'd be nice to have a system that doesn't have 50 states that can all do it in a different way, right? Yeah. There needs to be a set system. And it would be nice if that system was attached to a blockchain. You have the identity system attached to the blockchain, and each identity gets one token per vote on the ballot. So for example, if there's 12 things on the ballot, you have one token per itemized expense on the ballot, and you can just click yes or no on each side. Right. You know what I mean? Or if you have 2 options for the president. So I guess you write in a name for the president, so it would have to be a different way. But I can't wait for there to be a time where you have a system that we all use to vote. I mean, voting locally is one of the most important things you can do for your community, and it'd be nice to have a system that was verifiable, you know?
Right. Well, not only is the voting inconsistent and not reliable, but you have situations where votes just don't count. Why vote? How are you going to get participation in voting when the vote doesn't count? You tell everyone, "Oh, get out and vote." Well, why? Really. So the entire system itself needs to be rebuilt, and I think Voltaire is going to be the first step in rebuilding that type of broken system.
And even if it isn't, start over. And that's what's so cool about what Cardano's doing is the papers that we wrote about voting can be used for a centralized voting system with the government. They can be referenced, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think the government, I actually released this article on my channel, the government actually paid MIT to research a USD coin, a cryptocurrency for the United States. So the government's not just forgetting about this, but...
Oh, yeah, I saw China was coming out with their own coin, or maybe it's already out.
It's already out, I think. I think they were testing it somewhere. I read somewhere that they were testing it. And yeah, I agree with you completely on the fact that if your vote doesn't count. I'm not saying that I don't want an electoral college. I'm not knowledgeable enough to have an opinion on whether we need an electoral college or not. But looking at it without enough information, on the very local side, you have gerrymandering, right? You have these small, so I live in Ohio, right? You have these districts all over Ohio to where if you're in pretty much a big city, it's automatically going to be blue. So then all of the votes go to blue for that gerrymandered district. And it's just like, who has the power to create those districts? That just leaves a lot more room for corruption when you can just gerrymander the districts in the way that you want so that the whole state then becomes red, and then the whole state, all of their electoral college votes become red or blue because of the gerrymandered system, even on the local level, right? So even if you don't talk about the electoral college, I don't know enough to say what I would rather have, but I think gerrymandering is a huge problem, right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's just, it's crazy that you just have that on so many levels, and I feel like it just leaves too much room for corruption,
Right. Yeah, sorry to get political, but it is what it is. When you're building a political structure system, you kind of have to dabble into that, and it's not an area where people feel comfortable because it's not discussed often, or you're told not to discuss it. It's just one of those things. It's hard to bring up. It's hard to talk to people about. So, but a fair voting system it's evident that we need one. We need to fix the broken system that we have, and Cardano has the best solution for that. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing a real voting system get implemented, and smart contracts. I look forward to seeing the unnecessary, or well, not unnecessary, but currently necessary middlemen of the process of, say, buying a house. If you introduce that on a smart contract, that could be such a simple thing. For example, I bought my house and I paid, I don't know, it must have been $8,000 to $10,000 in administrative fees, titling, and it was just, I don't even know. They just tell you have to pay
$7,000 in administrative fees.
Yeah, titling. Fees? When you go to the titling.
So even not even including taxes.
Oh, that you pay every year. That's a whole nother thing. You'll never own your land if you don't pay taxes on it. They come take it, which is also crazy to me. But anyway, yeah, it was just so expensive because they've involved so many admins with the process of buying a house that it inevitably just becomes a more expensive process. If you remove the human factor in that, and you build a smart contract that can take a tokenized asset like a house or a deed, and you're able to get funding from a third party, and
that's the key right there, man.
Build a whole decentralized. You're going to be able to,
because you can use it as collateral and get funding or a loan for it from a
Right.
party that's not a centralized bank.
Right.
And that's huge, man. Because
And all I'd have to do is post up and say, okay, so you go to a marketplace and I post up, I say, this is my credit score, whatever years old, this is my name, this is the house I'm trying to buy, it's appraised at this, and private lenders or groups of private lenders will say, oh yeah, we can fund you and get you in that house and for whatever percent. And so now you saved all the cost, and their overhead might be different than a bank. So we don't know what types of percents you'll come across, but you'll definitely save money because the administrative costs alone and just a simple task of buying a house are absurd.
Yeah, and it's like I would rather pay a higher percent interest rate if there isn't fractional reserves with banks, where they can loan out more money than need to, and then you have the government artificially lowering interest rates to stimulate people loaning. It's like if I have sound money, right, I am more okay with paying a higher interest rate on my house or my car if it's sound money. I know that the bank or the person that's lending me that money actually has the money to lend.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, maybe in the long run we end up paying higher rates, but I mean, if that's what it takes, man, then I'm all for it, and that also, I feel like getting rid of fractional reserves stops stupid people as soon as they turn 18 and going to the military, going out and getting a $30,000 car when they don't have any money in the bank.
Right.
It's just, I really think that the system that we currently have hurts the people mostly. The fact that people can just go get that much money that early is just insane, man. Because who doesn't want a nice brand new car,
Right. Well, it's tough because it's a rigged game. The bank has almost unlimited resources to lend out,
mm-hmm.
and you're expected to maintain minimums with them so they can loan your money. So every dollar you put in there, they can loan out 10. And you get, I don't know, 0.2% or whatever it is.
Yeah, sometimes.
They're loaning out 10 times the amount of money I have deposited at various percents, probably between 3 and 10 or whatever.
Oftentimes, the big banks even charge you to bank there.
Right.
I mean, for example, when I first set up my bank account when I turned 18, I set up a student account. And guess what the student account was for? Not to give me higher interest. It was so I didn't have to pay them a monthly fee. And they said, oh, while you're a student for 4 years, you get this bank account where you don't have to pay us $10 a month. I'm like, oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. It's so funny, man. And then when I try to switch to another bank, I looked at Chase. And Chase is like, well, if you don't have $1,500 in your bank account every month, Sonny, we're going to charge you.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't give us enough of your money.
Yeah, they need to guarantee that they can loan out $15,000 on you. So that's basically it. And if you don't provide that $1,500, they got to charge you for it. What a hustle. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a hustle.
Yeah, we need to read some comments. I'm a little behind. Sassy Boy said, I just hope the community does things as a whole and not start splitting or forking off. I agree completely, man. And that's kind of why I have an issue with IOHK deciding all these parameters after we are kind of a decentralized system, because you're going to piss some people off. You are. Michael Lesser said, the government doesn't want you to be able to vote. That's true, man. I will give all of my kudos to a real voting DAP. Me too, man.
He also said, I think ETH will have 2.0 and staking in 2045. Oh, come on, Myth. Give him a little more credit.
Yeah, you want to bet some ADA on that? I got 100,000 ADA. They'll have it before 2045. You did say something that I hadn't thought of, man. That was really insightful, and the fact that you don't really ever own your house.
Right.
Because
that
you have to
pay.
Another
thing that I learned after I bought my house.
Yeah, because I haven't purchased a house yet, so I haven't thought of that. I've heard of property taxes, and specifically, my grandma always bitches about how high her property taxes are. And I asked her, I was like, you have a nice house, it's not like upper middle class, but I mean, she has like a $300,000 house, and I mean, her property taxes are somewhere around like $900 a month.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, what? She's like, oh, it's just the nice place that I live in.
Right.
And I'm like, and it's like, it's crazy that you have to like, I mean, you have to look at it on the local level, you have to look at it on the state level, and you really can't avoid federal taxes unless you move to Puerto Rico, you know. But right. It's just, I would have never thought it would have been so expensive to pay property taxes on what you're already paying to the mortgage.
Yeah,
and that's insane.
I know a couple people that have some nice real estate, and they pay in like salaries a year and just in property tax. It's like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year in property tax.
It's insane.
And so your house is paid off. I don't know. Can't tell you. They pay like 60, 70,000 a year in property tax, and you know, if you don't pay that, they can literally come take your house. Like, and I found this out, and what's really funny about it all is the prior year they'll send you a notice. I don't know. They said I got it in November, December. I probably did, but they send you this obviously not a very good notice, because I don't even recall getting it, that your taxes are going up. So one day you'll just receive a bill. Your usual mortgage is just going to be, I think our taxes went up like $1,200 for the year. So it was like an extra $100. So you're used to paying X amount, and then all of a sudden it's
and there's no way to really account for that, you know?
Right.
And
you don't know. You don't know until they send you a piece of paper saying, oh, sorry, well.
Yeah, and that's why the American dream's a little crazy to me, man. Like, just people wanting to work just every day of their whole lives until they're 65 and they're 70, and then they're just going to retire and everything's going to be all beautiful and nice. You know, you can't even account for how much property taxes are going to be in 20 years from now, you know?
Right.
Or, I mean, you can't even account. I mean, there could be a net worth tax in 10 years. You know, you never know. It's crazy, man.
Did I miss the giveaway? Everyone wants a giveaway. See, you better figure out how to give these shirts away.
Well, I already said I'm giving away 2 shirts, man. So if you guys come to the Discord server afterwards, if I said I give you a shirt, bro, I'll give you one.
Shirts. How are you going to have 2 shirts? We got 70 people watching, and you're trying to give away 2 shirts. You better step it up, man. All
right. So we're gonna do. All right. So I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 100.
You got to write it on a piece of paper.
No, just write it in the chat. Write your number one time.
You have to write your number down.
Okay, that's fine. I could do that. So this is the third shirt giveaway here. Number between 1 and 100. If you're within 5 of my number, I'll send you a shirt.
Let's see. Can we just?
And we're gonna limit that to 3 shirts.
You think that many people would get that close to your number within 5?
Well,
within 5. So it's like a limit of 10 or just 5.
Yeah, and you also have to like this video too. That's a part of the deal. There's no way for me to verify that. Just be nice.
It's a lot of numbers coming in.
Yeah, for sure. Watching. There is a lot of people watching. They're all just quiet.
They're watching the train wreck.
Yeah, the train wreck. Hey, it's Cardano's birthday, man. It's just a shooting the shit stream. All right, voting is over. I'm going to go back and... All right, not voting, but the giveaway is over. All right, so the number was 8. So we have Imanti. Imanti gets a shirt. You're going to have to join the Discord server afterwards and DM me your address for me to send it to you. So if you're trying to remain anonymous to me, then you're out of the giveaway. All right, so Imanti got one.
I don't know who you are.
Kevin got one. Kevin D. And
James
then
E came in with an 8. He nailed it.
Sassy
Last
Boy got
comment.
one. Dude, look. So, dude, the first three people were within the number, within 5 of the number.
Is that why you were like, oh, up to 3? Because you saw
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly. I saw 7, 5, 9. I was like, shit. I was like, that's not good.
Whole lot of people here at the end nailed 8. Nailed it.
Yeah, very, very proud of you guys. Andre Sutik got a shirt too. We'll go ahead and give away 4 out of that. And you guys have to pick the color and then whether you want a Cardano or Bloom shirt. You know, you don't have to be delegated to Bloom. I understand if you're hopping stake pools, you're gonna want a Cardano t-shirt, and I respect that.
So we'll know if you're a real Bloom fan or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually that's actually whether you're gonna get it or not.
You want a Cardano shirt? Well, you don't get one.
Yeah, too
sorry.
bad. Yeah. No Sassy Boy? Did you say?
So no. Oh, did he get it right? Now you're skipping people. Oh my god.
He didn't get it right.
It's gonna turn into a.
All right, beautiful. It's a very fair and decentralized giveaway.
Is it worth me staking a stake pool with a small pledge? Of course it is. Why not,
Yeah.
Adam Lamb? Better than no pledge.
So by pledge, do you mean the ADA that you have,
Or
Adam?
delegation stake.
Yeah, so there's 2 different things. There's delegation, and then there's a pledge. A pledge is what stake pool operators put up to secure the network. For example, Bloom and Bloom 2 have a 2.5 million pledge in each pool to secure the network. A delegation is the ADA that you stake to the pool. So only pool operators have a pledge, and then delegates have a delegation. But no worries, man. I get that one a lot, for sure. It helps me better answer the questions. But yeah, I mean, you can actually stake with 10 ADA. I think that's the minimum amount currently on Daedalus is 10 ADA.
Is it?
Yeah, you can have an address with less than 10, but to actually start the delegation, you need 10. Farah G said, "Yo, Pay, will you get hired on like David Like Crypto did? I need a lot more skills for that, man." Kevin D said, "Oh, Discord link, please." The Discord link, I think, is the 3rd link in the description down below. I would appreciate you guys all if you join the Discord link and join the community. If you want a t-shirt, you have to join the Discord to get it.
So Edwin commented, "Hey, all, in order to get max staking rewards, should we withdraw then restake, or does restaking happen automatically in max reward?" Yeah, so it compounds. Everything that you get from rewards is automatically deposited into your wallet, and that is automatically staked into whichever pool it is that you're delegated with.
Yes, sir. And the only way that you ever have to delegate again is if you're choosing a different pool. So once you're staked, you're good to go, man. You can leave that there forever, but you do have to keep saturation into mind. Currently, saturation level is not too bad, especially for Bloom. We never really run close to saturation. We did in the early days, but now everything's pretty nice. But if IOHK from their ivory tower decides to raise K on us, then you'll have to worry about saturation. Did you not like that, Anthony?
I hate when you fight them.
Why? Dude, I don't know. Okay, this is why I say it like that. Because the day that we started minting blocks, Charles Hoskinson said, "The protocol is in your hands."
I'm going to move on to Thomas Baker's question. Where did he go? BlockFi and Celsius have good compound 6% interest on your BTC and ETH. I have a good part of my savings in that as opposed to a bank. I'm diversified, but I love the ADA community the best. Well, Thomas, if you like the ADA community, there's lots of pools that are at 6% returns right now. I mean, I think 5.5 is about standard. So
Yeah.
Move
Anything
some of that
anything
over. I mean,
anything
on the broken
above
points.
anything above 5% is luck in the current state of
Right.
things.
Right.
Um,
So I would
yeah,
move
so
some of that.
the motivation niece just joined. He said nice shirt. Yeah, if you were here in the beginning, man.
Man,
Yeah, we're both wearing your shirts, man. Anthony's wearing yours too. I
I got
advertised it in the
Snap
beginning. I
Frost.
sent the link. I'll go ahead and send the link again. Motivation
Man,
Neath outlet. Yeah, we even advertised chat floss too, man. The best invention mankind has ever seen. I sent the link to his website where you guys can order official blue merch from the Motivation Niche. That's where I got this shirt. He actually sent me a hoodie, and I think that's where Anthony got his shirt too.
yes.
He said, Motivation, he said, awesome, thanks. Chat floss. You guys are awesome. No problem, man. Man, you've been here forever. You've been here like even,
Yeah.
I want to say that I remember you in the Discord server even back in like March. It's been a while.
Most Thomas wrote, yes, most people feel voting is rigged. Imagine if everyone felt their vote counted and didn't have to jump through hoops just to get registered. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. We need a faster, we should be able to vote on national decisions with the technology that we have and get a general consensus on what the population thinks within within minutes. This should be a thing that could be put together and sent out within minutes. I mean, obviously, big votes like presidential votes would be campaigned and whatnot, but really, I don't see why we don't have access to the system where we can vote on the biggest and the smallest of things with no problem.
I think there was this ideology in the past that they thought the masses were too stupid. And we still see a lot of evidence that in our system today, where if you think everyone is stupider than you are, then you think that everyone's going to have a better life if you have all of the power,
Right.
And I think that is kind of why our system is the way it is currently, where really not every person has a vote, at least on the federal level. I mean, locally you can for sure.
Right. Well, because we run in a top-down government system, so of course over the years the rules and regulations and laws were adjusted and adapted to benefit, obviously, the people making the laws.
Motivation E said, yep, the first vid I saw of you was way back. It was all dark and eerie. What video was it, man? Because I really started...
You in the basement way back in the day.
It probably was. Well, that was the... So my first video... Here's a little big pay history for you. My first video... Because I've always been an Ada fan since 2017. That's always been my crown jewel, so to speak. And I was a big miner. And what I would do with all of my mining earnings from my GPUs is I would just dump them all into Ada. So I made a video. My first ever video is probably a year and a half ago now on Ada. It was my first video on Ada. And it was how to mine the most profitable coin and then trade it into Ada. That's still up on my channel. That was my first ever video. And then my second big video was the early days. So you guys know the ITN. The software that the ITN ran on, the node software, was called Jormungandr. And there was a lot of iterations of Jormungandr before the ITN even started. I want to say back in like September or even the month before September, there was very early releases of Jormungandr, where essentially what you did is you just started up the node and you could connect it to other nodes on your local system, right? I made a video on how to do that. I made a video on how to start a Jormungandr node, and it got a lot of traction for whatever reason, because no one really made guides on how to do that back then. And so then, and that's what's funny, is really the whole business model of like creating educational content and providing value to bring people to stake pools, and that's like a way to actually provide income to keep doing this. I actually did the exact same thing back on the ITN. When I started up my ITN stake pool, I had all the same videos on how to stake. What is the parameters? what matters, how to choose the right stake pool. If you look back, I think to January or December, and you look at like the first 5 videos, it's the exact same first 5 videos as we released when mainnet came out. How to choose your stake pool, how to stake on your Roy, how to stake on Daedalus. It's pretty funny, man. And that's like kind of, I did all that to bring people to the stake pool, and it worked very well initially, but because there was a lot of bugs in the ITN software, I think I had like 20 million ADA delegated, and it was awesome for like 3 days. And then there was this fork in the network, a bad actor forked the entire network, and my stake pool went off with the fork. And the software wasn't good to correct itself. So normally if that happens, it should correct itself and go back to the right one based on the trusted peers, right? Well, it didn't. And a lot of people, it was around like 60% of the network lost a bunch of blocks for a few days trying to fix this, trying to work it out. The guys that even made it didn't know how to do it. So I went from 20 million delegation down to 500,000. And that is where I worked up from, is I worked up from 500,000 to probably 5 million in 6 months. And that was kind of the whole ITN story. And I think if there wouldn't have been those software issues initially, I probably could have kept most of that 20 million and worked up from there, but because it's really hard with 500,000 to move up, it's hard with 1 million to move up. It's hard with a few million, and it's the same way now,
Right. Well, there is most certainly a formula or a series of formulas that can help a stake pool become successful. I mean, obviously, YouTube is a very powerful tool within this industry. As you can see, some of the more successful pools are YouTube content creators, or, they host some sort of community-driven thing like a Discord or a Telegram or something to that nature. That's a lot of the pools that have accumulated many delegates host things like that, or many channels like you run Discord and YouTube.
Yeah, so, I post on everything, man. Right. And I think my experience in the ITN made me figure out the Cardano social media stuff a little bit more to be prepared for this. Like, I post on the Cardano forum, I post on Reddit, I post on Twitter, I post on Discord, we post on Facebook now, I post on Telegram. So that's, I think, 6 or 7 social media sites that I post on every video. So I spend about 2 to 3 hours after every video upload just posting it and getting it out there and working on the SEO and doing all that stuff. And another big thing that we offer that I think a lot of people don't really think about is the fact that you have live support from us. If you join the Discord server, or if you email Anthony, or if you email me, we reply to you and we answer your questions. So it's like you have live 24/7 Cardano support from, at least during, it's like, I mean, I'm online pretty often, so you have probably 12 hours of support at most days, right? And especially with him.
I email everyone back.
Exactly.
Within a day or so, it depends on how busy. Usually after epics, it gets pretty hectic because they're like, I put my money in 3 days ago, I didn't get paid. So you're like, oh, Jesus. You got to run through the whole payout schedule. So getting back to those emails and then catching back up is like,
and it makes sense that people are asking those questions because a lot of this stuff, other than YouTube videos, there's not guides on it. There's not a nice infographic within Daedalus that says this is when you're going to get paid your rewards. This is when this is when this. So it's really on us as content creators and as stake pool owners and as whatever you're doing in the Cardano ecosystem to educate the other people, because that's what's really nice about my Discord server now is I still answer questions every day. But when I'm not on for a couple hours, I'm biking, I'm doing something else. What's cool is because I've educated so many people on the Discord server, you guys help other people out. Like I see it's a lot more prevalent now, but every day if I miss a question for a couple hours, someone's already responded to it and said, oh, you have to wait around 15 to 20 days to get your delegation or get the rewards for your delegation based on that. And how awesome would it be for Daedalus just to say that, to say you delegated today, and it kind of does in a way. It has the undelegated and then the arrow to the pool that you selected. And then the snapshot's taken, it stays like that. So then you wait a whole nother epoch, So you could be waiting 10 days maximum, and then it will just show the stake pool. And that's when you're earning blocks. Yeah, and that's what I think your Roy does this. But it should just say, okay, you're earning blocks, and the blocks you're earning this epoch will be paid on this day with this epoch,
That's, as soon as you delegate, there should be a pop-up and it says, thanks for delegating to whatever pool, and then your first rewards will be in your wallet or available on whatever day. I mean, it's consistent. It's a 5-day cycle exactly. So it wouldn't be hard to generate something like this within the wallet. As soon as you delegate it, it will flag and give you an alert on your payout. Because what I noticed had happened is everyone came and delegated to all types of pools. I heard this happen to many different types of pools. So everyone came and delegated, and then an epic goes by, and another epic goes by, and then people leave. They leave, they go find another pool. The third epic goes by, the next epic goes by, and then they receive rewards. And they're like, well, I was in this pool for 2 weeks and I didn't receive anything. And then I moved over to this pool and immediately started getting rewards. Well, those are actually the rewards that from the first pool you were in.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep a week behind. So,
exactly. And that's what I actually had someone message me this the other day. They said, hey man, I just delegated to your pool last week, and I received my first rewards today. I have enough ADA. If I do the calculation right, I times it by the yearly percentage that you guys offer on average.
Right.
I should be earning about 80 ADA.
Yeah.
But I delegated to your pool last week. My other pool didn't give me any ADA for whatever reason. And then finally, after I delegated to your pool a week ago, I earned 0.3 ADA. And I was like, well, it's because you were delegating to a small pool. I'm like, that's the only way that you'll receive 0.2 ADA is because all of your ADA was sucked up to that minimum cost per epoch. That's the only way you'll receive that little ADA. If you delegate to really anybody over probably 25 million, you're going to receive on like a decent amount. The only way for you to get 0.2 is if you delegate to a pool with like 500,000 to a million or 2 million, and that's just because of that minimum cost per epoch. And that's actually what happened. I was like, man, if you delegated on this day, you're going to receive rewards from my pool on this day. And I promise you, it's going to be within a margin of what you just said. And then a couple weeks later, he messaged me and says, yep, you were right. And then he told me the pool that he was delegated to. And that's what it was. And it would be nice to have that information central to wallets, because not everybody watches YouTube videos every day. Not everybody has the time to email people about it.
June is saying in the chat that Bloom is not showing up. I believe that June emailed me saying the same thing. I couldn't do anything about it because I opened Daedalus and it was there. It's just if you're in Daedalus and you can't see Bloom, it's Daedalus. It's not pulls up.
June,
we've been having this problem forever.
What I would do if you haven't delegated and you really want to delegate and you can't see Bloom, recover your wallet in your Roy. It'll show up in your Roy no matter what. And if for whatever reason it doesn't show up in your Roy, just go onto our website or message either one of us and ask us for our stake pool ID. Your Roy has 2 ways to delegate, and I wish Daedalus had this because there's issue with Daedalus, and this has been the case from day one. Day one, there was some issue with the metadata. Pools didn't show up in Daedalus. So what you can do is you can take the actual stake pool ID and delegate to the ID even if it's not showing up, because the pool has been up all the time since day one. Daedalus is essentially showing metadata from a web URL. It's not showing the blockchain at all. It's showing metadata information that we as stake pool operators uploaded to a website, and then the Daedalus wallet takes the information that we uploaded through the blockchain, takes the metadata ID, checks the website for it. So if there's an issue that Daedalus is having with seeing that metadata, or if Daedalus is having a congestion issue, it'll hide the pool. And that's a big issue, because if people are trying to get delegation and the pool doesn't show up because there's a metadata issue within Daedalus, that's at cost to me, right? Or it's at cost to any other pool. And if you send me some screenshots of that, man, type in Bloom, take a screenshot of it. I think Bloom is currently ranked 50. Take a screenshot of rank 1 through 50 Send me those screenshots and I'll submit them directly to IOHK, because this is a big problem. It shouldn't be happening. But if you recover your dataless address into your ROI, delegate with your ROI, and then delete your ROI, you'll still be delegated to the pool. You'll still receive rewards from the pool, and those rewards will still be paid to your dataless account. So, really sorry about that, man. If there's anything I could do, I would. But the screenshots really would help me out, because I submitted an issue about this a couple months ago to IOHK, and they really told me it wasn't an issue and that was my fault. And it took them a couple days to realize it was an issue, and it seems to be fixed for most people. But I keep getting messages, especially in the past couple weeks, that they're having that problem again. So I do appreciate you giving us feedback about that.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple emails saying the same. It's frustrating because there's not too much you can do.
We're not reading any channels in Discord right now. We are reading from the YouTube chat, the Xenial. That's a useful tip, man. Thanks, Crowpool. Ray Mata. He said, I always tell delegators rewards are distributed on the 5th epoch after your first delegation, including the current epoch. I.e., your delegation is made on the epoch 220. Your rewards will come on 224. Thanks, man. Where can you get a Bloom Tesla? We're still working on that.
I'd like one.
I would like one too, man. Andre said, I staked 90,000 to Bloom, man. I really appreciate it. Couldn't be here without you, man. I hope you guys are enjoying this little shoot the shit live stream today.
Yeah. Is there any comments up top that we missed? On scale, 0 staking knowledge. Started with
Adam Lamb said yes. So he actually did mean pledge. He said, yes, is it worth me running a stake pool if I only have 50k A to pledge? What total amount of delegation is needed for a pool to get higher percentage reward than if you just staked with an existing pool? That's a hard question, man. So
yeah. Look at Emergo. Clearly, pledge doesn't really matter.
So you have Emergo, which only has 1,000 pledge. So really what you're limited to with the current factor, so A0 is the amount of rewards that you get for a pledge. So you get 30% extra for a higher pledge, but at the same time, for you to make more, you would really just need delegation. How much more it would take to make, I would probably say, really, if you only have 50,000 ADA, it wouldn't be hard to make more than 50,000 from delegation. I would probably say a couple million. If you can get a couple million delegation, you'll be making more than you would from that 50,000. And if I think it's worth it for you to start a pool, it's really dependent on how much time you want to put into it. And if you feel that you are savvy enough to create a niche in the market, because currently the stake pool market is already saturated. I think we have around 1,100 pools. Only about 300 of those pools currently make blocks. I think like 350 of those pools make blocks. So that tells you how saturated the current stake pool market is. So you have to find a niche in the market, you have to find a way to provide value, and you have to find a way to advertise. So it's up to you, man. If you have the time and this is your passion, I always say go for it.
But it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, man.
Spend a lot of hours at a computer. It's a lot of work.
It's not even just learning all the technical know how to do it. You have to learn the social media stuff. You have to find the niche. You have to do a lot of stuff.
I respond to probably 50 to 100 emails, I would say, a day. Or probably about a day. Some days I won't get to all of them, so I got to double up the next day. But that's about as consistent. That's about it right there, 50 to 100. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, Peyton and I were lucky enough to open a pool and it be successful, and it grew to be a big pool. We weren't expecting that. So if you're starting off from scratch, there's a lot of hours involved, but I wouldn't, if pledge is your biggest concern, I wouldn't let that stop you from being a stake pool operator. I think you can still succeed. I've seen lots of successful pools with less pledge than what you have. So I wouldn't let that be a deterrent from being a stake pool operator if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely. And And really, in the making of Bloom, I always kind of side on the pessimistic side. Like that's kind of what I always fall in line with. I'm stoic in the way that I always try to prepare for the worst. And Anthony's the opposite. He was very confident, and he was saying that we can do this. We can do this. You know, we can be in the K factor. And I'm like, you're right. If we really work our butts off.
I had no idea. It was a total lie.
Yeah, well, it was just confidence, man. It was just confidence, and I was on the opposite end. I was stoic about it. I'm like, we're gonna have to work our asses off, but we should be able to make it in the top 150. And so we really had no idea. We were planning to run out of our pockets for months, you know, and our goal was to make it into the K number of pools. So I just think you should be prepared to run at a loss for a while. During the ITN, I ran at a loss for 8 months. So
yeah.
And that's at a loss with my time. That's at a loss with the actual money I'm spending on the servers. That's at a loss for the time that I'm putting into making the YouTube videos. I ran at a loss for a long time, essentially until Bloom was created, you know, until we got our first payment a long time after Bloom was created. So, I mean, in a way, I ran at a loss for like 10 to 11 months before I even got a payment, you know, so.
Right, and those are just payments. It's not even profit. It's just, you know, now we're covering all the debt for building the website and setting up the pool, and you know, now we're able to start generating money and run our company that, you know, obviously Peyton has sweat equity and time, massive amounts of that into throughout the ITN. And then, you know, as we got more serious and putting up nodes, you know, our hardware and our, you know, our setup cost us quite a bit of money, because we went and we took it seriously. We built, you know, everything top level. So Bloom's hardware setup is pretty nice. It's reliable, and you know, now it's nice to see the outcome of all the work, because really it boils down to it's not really a huge capital investment up front. It's time. It's hundreds of hours. You know, you do 80 hours a week easily setting up a stake pool. Oh, who was it? Alreza Rahimi. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I delegate my ADA to Bloompool. Thank you. How do I get a t-shirt? You can get a t-shirt through, I think there's a link at the bottom through Amazon, or you can support our friend Casey at the Motivation Niche. He's got shirts. That's where I got mine. I think that's where Peyton got his as well.
I got this from Motivation Niche. I can go ahead and send that link down below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he commented underneath. Or 50%. Marketing and valued content.
Ray Meta from Growpool said, good advice. Thanks, man. Yeah, I try to, that's what I say, man. I think anyone should go for it, but the market's saturated, you know. I think if you're passionate about this and you're willing to spend a lot of time doing it, man, you can make it. And it's just the early days, man. I mean, you only might have, I mean, that minimum cost per epoch kills you at a couple million. But, I mean, the ADA you're making off 5 million could have made this time worth it. You know, if ADA's $1 or a few dollars, if you only have 5 million ADA delegated, you know. So, I mean, even if you have a big pool like we do, we are still speculative, you know, with the amount of money that we're making, you know.
5-star Emperor, I sent them to you. Check your email.
So what is he doing?
He's doing Twitch, is it? Video gamer. He's a podcaster. He delegates to Bloom, and he's making something for us. So I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
But he wanted our clean logos. He could pull them from the site, but they weren't clean. So I sent them over to you.
Yeah. The Motivation Niche said, wow, you're going to hit 5,000 subscribers this year. Yeah, man, it's going to happen within the next couple of months. It could even happen next month, really. I average about 500 subscribers a month. So, yeah, we're going to be,
that's what you get new.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good measurement for people coming into Cardano, because you know they're not watching your channel for any other news.
Yeah.
So that's a good form of measurement to see how many people overall.
Well, it's funny, man, especially because 500 is kind of on the low end if you compare it to when Shelly was coming out. I mean, I probably earned, my max a month was probably 900. and that was the month leading up to Shelly. And then
Right.
when Shelly came out, it dipped to probably 7 and then 6. And then now we're sitting at about 5, And with the Voltaire stuff coming and then Gauguin stuff coming, I'm sure, and especially if we hit a bull market, man. If we hit a bull market, man, it would not surprise me. Like, for example, if a bull market started today and Bitcoin went up to 15,000 and ADA went up to 15, 20 cents, it would not surprise me if I hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Because right. I watched in 2017 what happened to these YouTube channels that, and this is why I state that I might not go for DC funding if my channel grows, because then I won't need to, but what I watched in 2017 is you have people like Crypto Crow. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he probably has like 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And dude, when 2017 this bull market was going, dude, Crypto Crow was killing it. I mean, he would get 100,000 views per video, and more than that. I would watch some YouTubers, like this guy would just make face cam videos and talking about why he believes in Bitcoin. He would get millions. He would get 2-3 million views. And if you go look at Crypto's Crow's channel now, it's not any fault of his own. It's just seasonal. It's right. Crypto comes in seasons, and he will get 10,000 views on a video now when he was getting 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 every video, and now he only gets 10.
So if you have 2 videos that have the same amount of views, depending on when you release the video, if something big was happening with Cardano and they're able to charge more for the advertising space based on Cardano videos, do you get paid more? So if we're in a bull market and both videos have 2,000 views and one's in a bear and one's in a bull market, you get paid more for
sure.
Really?
For sure, yeah.
That's interesting.
Especially if people want the tag of, so you can tag your channel, like for SEO, I do Cardano and I do cryptocurrency, right? And if you compare my channel to a gaming channel, I make probably 5 times the amount per view that a gaming channel does, because that's even during a bear market, so right. I would expect more people wanting to advertise cryptocurrency. There's a bull market, so then you have these people that create cryptocurrencies that give themselves 20% of the total net worth of the whole currency. So then these people that just created this company now have a couple $100 million to spend on advertising, and you have a lot of these shit coins that just want to pump and dump. So then they're willing to pay at whatever it takes to advertise on YouTube channels that are tagged cryptocurrency, And then also it's the same thing for, you have a lot of these guys doing stock market videos now with Wall Street Bets blowing up, with puts and options and stuff, and Robinhood. You have those guys making a lot of money too, and much more. They probably make around what I do, not like in dollar value, but I mean per view, they probably make around what I do because they're investing channels, and people are willing to pay more for people that are looking to invest in something, And then also you have the private sponsors. Like, I've had a lot of people reach out to me this month telling me that they want to sponsor a whole video, and they just want me to do a video about their cryptocurrency, and I'm just like, no, that's not, I'm not going to do a whole sponsored video on your cryptocurrency, man. And they're like, well, how much would it take? And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a whole.
Never let Charles down.
Yeah, well, dude, it's like I would allow someone to sponsor a video, right? You can have a 30-second to a 2-minute ad read. 2 minutes really pushing it. I'll let you have the ad read. But when you reach out to me and say, I want to sponsor at minimum a 10-minute video, it's just, I feel like that's like, to me, that's like selling out. You know what I mean? If you make a whole video about something that you're not driven to make the video about.
I mean, how could you be authentic about it? Because you're like, okay, well, Ether, I went on there and I tried to stake and I spent $60 and I didn't get to stake. So it was good. Everyone should buy it. How are you going to?
And also, I just don't. I mean, another thing, like, just to take out the whole, I'm trying to be a nice, genuine person. I guess this kind of falls into that too. I just don't want to make a video about a shit coin and then that shit coin blow up or like go down and go to zero, because I just feel like even though it's you purchasing that, I still would hold responsibility for making that video, Yeah. And it's for sure.
Fair to say. Cardano system approved.
J Soul said, "You guys deserve it, man. Y'all grind, man. I've been grinding to try to keep my head above water. I have too over here, man. I've been trying to keep my head above water." Ray Meta said, "And you guys also thought ahead. You're ready to scale for Gogan apps and kick ass, dude. I'm so excited for Gogan, man. I can't, dude. Whatever it costs to run more applications on the servers, I'm paying it."
Right. They said that we're going to have to beef up our systems to handle the load because it's going to apply a physical load or a more demanding load on the CPUs. So if we have to up the RAM, CPU, whatever it is that we have to do, we're ready for smart contracts. Bloom will most certainly be producing smart contract blocks for sure.
Yeah. And it's going to be funny because on the Cardano Aura, like obviously if people vote for it, if you guys enjoy it, but I'll be having people on that are building these applications on top of Cardano. And in a way, these people are going to be like because we have to pick and choose what we actually want our nodes to run, because we have to pay more to run these different currencies. So it's like you're going to have somebody building an asset, and then I'm going to try to have them on the Cardano effect, or the Cardano Aura podcast. And,
whoa, you're taking over, huh?
I'm taking over. No, man, it's just been the only good podcast thus far. There's a lot of good podcasts starting now, but really until Shelly came out, it was the only good one. But they're going to be on the podcast trying to sell me, like, and in a way I'm going to be like, "Hey, man, that sounds pretty cool. I'll have to add that to the node."
Yeah. I look forward to see what they're going to introduce to the blocks and how it will affect the network. Because smart contracts, I can only imagine that some of them are going to be, you'll have 30-year contracts or lifelong, when you start putting birth certificates and death certificates on the blockchain, those don't go away. They're going to have to be handled for quite a long time, the life of the person or as long as the mortgage is in play. So those will continuously be verified. So I could imagine that it's not like a transaction. Once it goes from A to B, it's kind of done. It's in the system and it's gone forever. So it's redundant transactions. It will start to weigh heavy, and I think will increase the blocks. And that's where you'll start to see stake pool operators not rely on the funds that Cardano is pushing out to us, but more
through
so
the inflation,
funds, right? More so through the funds that you're charging or fees that you're charging within a smart contract.
Mm-hmm. Steve Vlog said, "Oh, I missed one." Also, I've been trying to push this a little bit more. It really does help my channel if you guys do this. If you like the video, and then right below, there's this little notification. It says turn on notification bell. If you guys click that, and then also turn on YouTube notifications, it really helps out the channel. I was just reading about that because I don't really ever call and ask people to do that because I didn't think it mattered. But for whatever reason, the notification bell helps out my channel tremendously for pushing my content to new people. So if you guys could like this video, click that notification bell. I would really appreciate it. The next question, Big B said, "Are you guys working full time as SBOs, and would you also like to work for IOHK?" I'm not. I am working full time on the Cardano ecosystem, not just as a stake pool operator. I guess it all kind of ties in. Anthony's not.
Nope.
Steve Blog said, "Hey, Pay, love what you and the guys are doing for the project. Keep up the great work and great content. Brighter days ahead. Keep it Ada, baby. For sure, man. Thank you." Forrest said, "Yeah, I was just about to read that. There was until COVID. Yeah, man. The next in-person event, whatever it costs, I'll fly there, man. It was supposed to be in Japan this year, and I was gonna fly there with my native English speaking ass and be around people that it would be complete. I've never left the country. So for me to leave the country for the first time and go to Japan was going to be just such a surreal experience for me. But it got canceled due to COVID. But the next event, I will fly there or drive there, depending on how close it is. And
we'll be there for sure.
Yeah, and I'll meet some of you guys, man.
I hope it's in Japan.
Me too, because it was supposed to be during the spring, when the flowers blossomed. Charles really sold me on it, man. I was like, dude, pretty pink flowers blossoming, I'm down.
Nice.
Goguen! Exclamation point. I agree with the enthusiasm. Ray Meta from Growpool, he said, "Me too. So stoked to take on that crazy load. Blocks with digital identity. I'm glad we chose Azure infrastructure to scale up, down, left, and right, whatever." I haven't really looked into Azure, man. I keep hearing about it lately, though. I'll have to look into it.
That is cool. You haven't done the they have an application you can download, and
is it made by Amazon? Azure?
No.
What's Azure?
No, it's the identification system for
That's Atlas or Atala Prism.
Atala Prism.
Yeah. Oh, he's talking about a server providing company.
Oh.
Because he was talking about scaling up left and right. No worries, man. A lot of terminology. It's easy to mix up.
Yeah, and it's all these crazy. You get all types of crazy names on everything. You know, it's never easy.
I haven't announced this yet. I got a cool announcement for you guys that are here. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast. The third. Yeah, this is the third. The third Cardano Aura is going to be a different style. I realized that I kind of need to push these in there too, because I can't have a guest that build a project every time, because there aren't enough projects built on Cardano yet, you know. So what I'm doing this Friday is I'm having 3 people on. I'm having Kyle. You guys have probably seen him from the Cardano Effect. He's a staple operator, really smart, great guy. I like him. He's going to come on and talk about his proposal for Spakra. I'm having Kaizen come on. So it's going to be Kyle, Kaizen, and this guy named Mark. Kaizen is doing a podcast. That's his proposal, his podcast and his new stuff. So I'm going to give him a platform to come on and talk about that. And then I'm also having on this guy named Mark. Mark wants to research a decentralized cloud that uses ADA for the marketplace, for the transaction. And I think that's going to be really interesting. He's not asking for much. He's just asking for a little bit of money to fund the research to build the decentralized cloud. So I'm going to have him come on and talk about that. As far as what time, it's going to be Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason I chose that is I'm picking different times to try to include different people from around the world. It is a live stream. I would appreciate if you guys all made it to that. Thomas Baker said, "Dang, man, work just called and interrupted the stream. What did I miss?" Depends on how long that phone call was, man. Antimatter said, "Rogan after Goguen."
That would
for
be
sure,
cool
man.
to see Charles on Joe Rogan. That would be.
I think it could happen. I mean, he had Ben Gortzel on. He had Andre Antonopoulos on.
Is Rogan a crypto holder?
Nope.
Really?
Not that I know of. He's always been, he's interested in it, but he's always been, okay, what's so funny is I was watching it, I really do like Rogan, which is not unique. You know, so many people watch him now. But I was watching a podcast that he was doing, and he had a techie on for sure, and Rogan brought it up. But he said, what if we had a way to all vote from a phone and it be tied to something that was verifiable, kind of like decentralized voting? And what if we had a way as people to all vote on what actually our government does? And I was just like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
For you.
Yeah. It's funny because you can tell Rogan's like very libertarian and his ideologies like fall in line with a lot of mine. He just hasn't taken the crypto pill yet, but I'm sure he will eventually. And I think with what's happening to the world right now from COVID, the government printing all that money, I think people are going to be a lot more interested in some decentralized infrastructure.
Stephen Roberts saying he holds BTC.
Send me some proof, man. Send me an article. I want to believe it. Growpool said Azure isn't Microsoft. Cool.
Yes, I saw that. It's like application development software.
Did you Google it?
Yeah. I've never used it. I'll have to check them out.
Andy Matter said we need to start a campaign to get Charles on Rogan. I don't think we need to, man. Especially after Goguen.
He's ready. There's no point see, you don't get to go on Rogan multiple times. You know, it's
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, you do it right, and you go on there and you bring everything we got, and it's ready to go. So when you get in front of an audience that big, you know, you spent a lot of time getting on Rogan. I'm sure the process is not easy. I'm sure there's a waiting list. So when you get on Rogan, you better deliver something awesome, because it's going to get delivered to a lot of people. So there's no point in going out there with some half-assed crypto and we're like, well, in a couple months we'll have this, and this done. You just hit him after Gogan, and or even Voltaire. That would be even cooler, because he was asking for a voting system. So
Yeah, I agree.
Elon went on twice. Well, yeah,
A lot
Elon
of people
probably has the cell phone number.
Yeah, for sure. And Joe Rogan's happy about that, not Elon.
Right. You're right.
We've been going on for an hour and 40 minutes. Would you like to do 20 more minutes to finish it off at 2 hours? Hell yeah, man. The longest live stream ever. At least that I've done.
Doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that's what it always takes, about 15 minutes to warm up, and then it's just a fun time.
We've been maintaining the same same number of people watching, about 60 people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when we first started, we were talking about comedians, and I watched the number go do 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 do, and then we started talking about Cardano, and it went do 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 do. It's funny. Yeah, well, Rogan moved to Texas because we have no state tax. Crypto got to be next. Yeah, man, he's getting red pilled. I'm telling you, I watch his podcast pretty often, probably a few a week. And like while I'm biking, working out and stuff, it's just nice to have something talking in my ear. And you can really see his opinions on things. He already liked guns, you know. He was already there, but as soon as COVID happened, you watched the fear set in. He got very scared of COVID because of what was coming out. We didn't have good data. Everyone was terrified, and he was with them. Everyone was terrified. And after a couple months, because of COVID, or because of LA locking down, I think it was like 2 or 3 months in, LA came out and said that they're locking down for at minimum another 3 months. And from that day, you just saw something change in his brain about how he feels about governments and how he feels about institutions and the power that they hold. And he got a lot of shit for it because of what COVID is, you know, because people are dying from it. That because he had those libertarian beliefs, people gave him a lot of shit for it. But it's interesting to watch him develop into that, you know. Farrah said, Rogan only takes people on who he wants to talk to. How are we going to get him thinking about ADA? We just got to change the world, man.
Right. If you build it, they shall come.
Only thing I worry about is Charles is extremely smart, and he has to really dumb it down for Rogan to understand what Charles is saying. I disagree with that. If I can understand what Charles is saying, especially from the whiteboard video and the other stuff, Rogan can understand it too, man. He likes to play the whole, I'm just a comedian card, but dude, he's smart as hell.
Right. I agree. And Charles, if anyone, knows it well enough to explain it to
exactly
anybody. You know, the better off you know a subject, the easier it is for you to explain to somebody, especially of that caliber. I don't think Joe Rogan's, you know, dumb by any means. I think he'll grasp that without an issue, especially coming from Charles.
Only thing I worry about is I already read that one. Oopsies. I'd like to see Charles on Lex Friedman's podcast. Yeah. I think someone said that to him during an AMA, and he was like, yeah, I'd like to go on there. Yeah, I do like Lex Friedman's podcast because he's a computer science guy. Well, he's an AI guy, you know, so he could really go into the details, and he does 4-hour podcasts. Like he did Ben Gorsel, who we talked about earlier. He did a 4-hour podcast with Ben Gorsel, and they went deep. It was awesome, man. Because, I mean, I like to think I can understand technical information, but Lex Friedman's podcast flies right over my head like 50% of the time, maybe even more. Growpool said, love you guys. We are blessed to have Bloom and Cardano. Thank you, man. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, we get a lot of shit, and it's nice to not get shit, man. I feel like we have we're here for the same reason as everybody else, man.
vape on, bro. You better quit vaping.
Yeah, and
Everyone yells at you every podcast, every video. Someone says something about you vaping.
yeah. So I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was younger, and like when I hit nicotine, it calms me down. But I don't like hitting nicotine at all, other than when I'm doing a live stream or if I'm in like a social situation. And it's easy for me to say that. I know that's how it starts, right? But for example, I have not hit nicotine in weeks, and this is my first time doing it. It calms me down, which is weird. You wouldn't think a stimulant would calm you down, but it's just the ADHD type brain. It calms me down and it helps me focus and read comments and not be thinking about something else while I'm doing this, not just
Right.
It really does help me, man. And I would rather drink coffee and hit nicotine here and there than be on a stimulant like Adderall,
Well, Monty, he'll continue to vape.
Yep. At least until I can. I don't know. A lot of people say that with meditation and good diet that it will calm their mind down, and I'm just not. I'm trying to work to that point, If you've noticed, if you watch my Cardano Ore episodes, the Charles interview, I didn't vape. If you watch the interview with Sebastian, I didn't vape. I'm working up to it, man.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Antimatter. I'm late to the party, but finally got my ADA off of Bittrex. Yeah, that's sweet. Bittrex finally got their updates done. You can get your ADA off. You can delegate it. Pretty big deal. I know there was a lot of ADA stuck in there for quite a long time. So Metal Gear got his off too, or hers. I don't know.
Thomas Baker said, do you guys think that purposely, or do you think that they are purposely keeping the ADA at a lower price to help with adoption in Africa and similar places around the world until fully operational? I would commend that. What are your opinion? I think if anyone's lowering the price, if anyone with a large sum of ADA is lowering the price, it's not because of their good action, I don't think. If there was an entity that had a lot of ADA and they're selling it, it's probably because they need money and not because they want to help the people of Africa, right? Because if they had a bunch of ADA and they think it's going to go up and they don't need the money, they would just hold the ADA. You know what I mean? They wouldn't just sell the price to keep it low for the people of Africa. They would just hold it until it goes up if they didn't need the funds at that point,
I think those actions within the network would be evident as well. If you saw that type of behavior happening in the market, you would know that's what we're experiencing. All of the markets are down. It's not just ADA or, it's pretty much standard. I could see if ADA went way down and nothing else moved. You might have.
Well, we were there for a while though, man. We were.
Yeah.
At 3 cents,
I think
and I've heard some conspiracy theories. That's
Really?
for sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
We won't go into them though.
I think market manipulation would be much more evident though. I don't think that. People watch that
if it were to have happened, it would have already happened though. You know what I mean?
That's what I would think.
Mm-hmm. Are they releasing Gogan dates tomorrow? I haven't heard anything, but that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, June found Bloom. Sweet. Nice. Bloom is up.
Bloom is up. Heck yeah, man. Hopefully it just takes a little bit of time. That's better than it never showing up. Everyone that said that they haven't found Bloom in Daedalus has all messaged me a few days later and said it randomly popped up. Yeah. So, but I just still think that's a big issue that needs to be fixed. Farah said, sorry, have to go, fellas. Lex Ben podcast. Thanks. No problem, man. We've been going for a long time. It's no worries. I appreciate you being here this long. What do you think is the biggest possible threat? All right, I think they're done. What do you think is the biggest possible threat to Cardano moving forward in the years to come? I think competitors, man. As far as what competitor, I don't know. If someone can do what we're doing better, then they'll win. But I mean, that's why we have a voting system to change the parameters. That's why,
Biggest threat, I think, to Cardano would be not a competitor. Well, yeah, it technically would be a competitor, but I think it's more of a human threat, not a coin. I think it's going to be governments. I don't think governments
Really?
are going to want to relinquish the power that they have over the voting system and the monetary system. And so I think our biggest fight is going to be against, the current people that hold power.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a
That's
competitor
true.
coin, because really, you look at global economy, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous for Cardano to have the entire global economy. You'd have like I don't even know. It'd be like $1,000 ADA or something just nuts. It's not even usable. Like Bitcoin, you're not going to use Bitcoin to go buy a gallon.
Yeah,
of
we
milk.
start trading in Lovelaces.
You're right. I don't want to do that.
Well, as a stake pool operator, you already do, man. When you type in your pledge, so our pledge is 2.5 million. So when I had to type that in, I had to type in, what would that be? 200. I had to type in, I had to type in 250 million Lovelaces to do that, and it's the same thing with the minimum cost per epoch. I had to type, or no, it wouldn't. It was 250 billion, is what I had to type in.
Lovelaces.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then I had to type in for the minimum cost per epoch 340 million.
I'd
just
be
for that
there
340.
Counting the zeros. Oh no!
You can't count the zeros, man. You can't. Because so I would literally just. Well, dude, what was so annoying is I would pump it into calculators, because I don't want to count the zeros on 250 billion. So I would plug it into a calculator, and then the calculator would say, 250 times e to the whatever, and I'm like, fuck. So I had to find a calculator that actually used zeros, and then copy it, and then paste it over. And then what's funny is because I created our pools in the testnet with the same metadata, the same parameters. So when the pool actually came time for mainnet, I just copied it from the testnet metadata. Okay, that's 250 billion, I know for sure. Copied it and put it in. It was funny. We actually just got a super chat. The first super chat today, man. I really appreciate it. That's the only money we'll be making from this video because it was demonetized. $20, Bloom 2020 for president. I appreciate that, man, but I don't want me running the world. I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
I don't know. It might be better than the options we have now.
We'll stick to pools. That's
yeah. But hey, you know what you can vote for me on? The Cardano Aura podcast, October 21st.
Right.
I'll have a guide on my channel, step by step, how to get your voter tokens, how to vote. And if you would like to vote for my podcast, if you guys would like to see more of this, all you do is vote. Vote yes. Big pay. Cardano Aura.
Kudos. You vote kudos.
Yeah, right now we're voting with kudos. We're actually the number one kudos on the platform. We have the most internet points.
You get paid for voting in there?
Not in there. You get paid for voting in the actual app.
I just screwed up. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch your last video.
It's fine. It's fine. Hey, man, I don't watch some of my videos either, man. I'm like, man, that was terrible. That's what's funny, dude.
The link. They want a link for what? The
You want a link for the catalyst or for the... For what?
I don't know. They said drop the link. I'll send the catalyst link.
Yeah, I agree with you too, Growpool. Regulation is probably the highest threat outside of competition with other crypto projects. For sure, man. I think we're going to enter if regulation doesn't mess with us, I think we're going to enter a period where you're going to have a lot of projects that are good doing similar things. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have wrapped ADA on Ethereum. I think you might already have that. You're going to have, you actually have wrapped ADA on the Binance chain already. I saw that the other day. But it's just you're going to have different chains. And I think that we should, and Charles says this too, we should all be buddies, man. I think we should all be working together for a greater world, But, I mean, at the same time, we're also going for number one in that greater world.
Yeah, but it's incredibly delusional to think that you'll be the only.
Exactly.
It's fine to be number one. I get that. That's cool. We can be number one, but to be the only is just that's ass.
And that's what I think I think we're going to head into a world where you have a large subset of the population, say 20%, that hold most of their money in cryptocurrency. I mean, that sounds like a crazy idea, but I think with the way people are kind of seeing what's going on right now, and I think we're going to enter a world of inoperability where people transition and people can live completely within the cryptocurrency world and feel better about that because there is a limited amount of supply.
Right.
And really the way that we need to get that many people here is incentives, you know. Thanks for dropping that link. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think once you have, I understand where Charles is going, and he's building these marketing avenues, and I think a lot of the initial push is to bring tool builders into Cardano, because it's useless if we have this really cool network but nothing on it, no tools, nothing to. How can anyone build anything without any tools? So I think that's the initial high level developers in here, see what the system's about, and let them start building stuff that other people can use. Like Plutus and Marlow are great. Have you used either Plutus or Marlow?
A little bit. I've used Plutus a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I haven't.
I've
used
kind of been
Marlow
waiting.
yet.
Really, it's about that time. You know, I've kind of been
Yeah,
waiting for really all of the stake pool stuff to just be concrete and everything's good to go. And kind of just like with my content, you know, with the Cardano Aura. And then once I have a set schedule, I'm going to really start diving into Plutus and Marlow.
yeah. I enjoyed Plutus. I did the Udemy course and dove into Plutus a little bit. I got a book. I got a Haskell book as well. I haven't started that. Haskell freaks me out.
Does
I
it?
don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I have the skill to handle Haskell. But I enjoyed Plutus so far. It's fairly simple. I mean, the tools are rudimentary, but you can see where it's going and how it will be a really neat thing in the near future once it gets developed on.
See, I have a lot of experience, not a lot, but a decent bit of experience with imperative languages and taking a look at Haskell. Because, like, I could read code, right? If you write like a reasonably sized JavaScript, even though I don't know JavaScript, I should be able to read it, right? I can understand what it's doing. But when I try to read, and this is, I mean, if I probably gave it a few days with Haskell, I'd be able to read it better because that's kind of the whole point of the language is that it's legible. You know what I mean? And you should be able to read it, and what it says is exactly what it means, you know? But for someone that's coming from an imperative language looking at it, it's like, what the hell, man? You know, it's really interesting. You know, it's definitely going to be a hurdle for me to overcome, you know?
Yeah. Blogs. You guys think a windfall of ERC tokens will migrate to ADA from Steve Blogs?
If they can make more money, yeah. It's that simple, man.
Yeah.
If they're incentivized to do it, they'll come, you know? Because, I mean, I've been playing around a little bit with the Binance chain, you know, and I think it's centralized. As far as I know, it's centralized because there's no fees, you know, but that's, I think, and I can't believe the world is this way, right? But we have decentralized tokens running the show right now. You know, you have Bitcoin at number one, you have Ethereum at number one or number two, and then I think top five are all decentralized. And I think that's beautiful, man. If we would have had no experience looking at what cryptocurrency is, I would have told you that a centralized coin would be running the show. You know, I didn't think people would care, you know. I mean, I care, you know, we all care, but it's really a beautiful thing to me to see that decentralized protocols are running the show right now. And that's kind of what I was thinking when I was looking at the Binance chain. I was like, this is cool, you know, but it's never going to be it because it's centralized, you know.
Right.
And it's.
So what do you think will you? So I tend to think, and I don't really know how to question this, but I tend to think that I keep hearing the government say that, oh, we're going to come out with, you know, a Federal Reserve coin or whatever it is that they want to do. So I'm excited for this. I like this because if they come out with a centralized coin, all you're about to do is teach the masses on how to use cryptocurrency. So I don't mind a government coming out with a coin. I actually prefer it. Let's get rid of fiat and we come out with a digital coin and you train everybody on how to use cryptocurrency.
It's
comfortable.
I see exactly where you're coming from. And I think it was actually Michael Michael commented on my video and said that, because if you watch my video where I talked about it, as always, I was pessimistic and pretty like stoic about it. Like, oh, I don't know if I, but you're right. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, because if we get rid of fiat, then there's no way in the current system, or not get rid of fiat, but get rid of the dollar, cash. There's no way for people to do private transactions.
Yeah,
and
there are.
With cryptocurrency, right?
Right.
But you still need KYC, and I mean, you can do it there's ways around it for sure. Right. But I still, with the current system, I don't want cash to go away. I don't. I think that, I mean, and it's against the law, but I think you should be able to pay somebody to mow your lawn $20. You know what I mean? And
right.
And it worries me that we're going to lose that, because
Yeah,
for the government for the government to allow cryptocurrency to be inoperable with the US dollar, there's going to be a lot more regulations, There's going to be a lot more regulations on cryptocurrency if the main form of payment is cryptocurrency, right?
Right.
So it's like, it's a double-edged sword. That's the optimistic side of it, It's going to teach millions of people how to use it, but at the same time it couldn't, because everyone already has all of their dollars in a bank account, So,
Yeah.
and how would that change? If there was a government cryptocurrency, it wouldn't change at all. We would still have the centralized banks. The only difference is if they allowed us to hold those dollars on personal accounts and personal wallets.
Right.
And do you think that's going to happen with the way the current things are? No. So it's essentially going to be the exact same way as it is, but without cash, without these private transactions under the federal government. So.
I agree with the regulatory statements. They'll never let us have control over our own money. That wouldn't make any sense for them as a bank or a financial institution or the Federal Reserve or whoever decides to make this cryptocurrency. That wouldn't make sense, because then they could just use Bitcoin or whatever. So keeping control and being able to change the circulating supply would obviously be features that I would expect of the Federal Reserve if they made a digital currency. Now, similar to cash, if people figure out that the government is tracking their money through this digital currency, they're obviously going to look for alternatives if cash is no longer available, which will funnel them into various other coins.
Yeah.
The main thing is teaching and adapting everyone to it almost by force is what the government has the ability to do. So if you look at like the origins of the debit or credit card, no one wanted to use those when they came out. Everyone was like, this doesn't work, it's not secure, it's dangerous. And then online shopping was a whole nother one that I watched happen and unravel over the course of time. All these things that people found to be so foreign very quickly became convenient and adopted. So I think the same thing would happen, because now you're forcing the use and the ownership of cryptocurrency if the government switches over. So I think it would do more good than harm, because really the current system's doing harm to crypto. So if you're just going to train people on how to use crypto, that can't be bad, because our current system's terrible now, so.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't have those insights of, I'm too young to see people start purchasing online when they were only buying in the store. I saw like kind of a microcosm of it. I saw most people buying in stores, and then you have 10% of the population buying some things online,
Right.
And I kind of saw it transition over that, but I didn't see the first 1% start doing that. I didn't see the build up. I just kind of saw it as it was. And then, you know what I mean? So,
yep.
Yeah, we'll take a couple more questions and then we'll log off here. I know we missed about 10. Yeah, we're probably 2 hours in now. Yep, 2 hours and 5 minutes in. So we'll take the last questions that you guys already said, and we'll hop off here, man. I had a fun time. So
I like these lives. I like the interaction with everybody. It's a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
What do we got? Lance Thomas, I will leave a message on YouTube. Support why they demonetized your videos. Okay, thanks.
What do you say?
Leave a message on YouTube. Support why they demonetized your videos.
It's because I said the word asshole at the beginning of this. That's why.
Oh man. Well, that's a $5 loss. It's okay.
Metal Gear said, centralized coin going to suck big time. They're going to move to a decentralized coin like Bitcoin. The only way that the average person is going to do that is with incentives, right? I could be wrong about this, but from my personal experience, I have been through struggle in my life. So that made me realize that the only person that's going to help me is myself, right? And that train of thought led me down the cryptocurrency path, that I need to be the person that holds my own financial freedom. But if you look at someone who's had a great life, you know, their parents did everything for them, they had a happy household, and they paid for everything. And then when that person is finally 18 years old, they get to go to school, and it's either free because their parents are paying for it, or it's almost free. It's artificially free because it's going on loans that they're not going to have to pay back until they're older. So then you have these people that have had good lives their entire lives, right? So they don't see that bad things can happen if they don't hold their own financial freedom. And I think those people, the only way to get them interested in decentralized coins is through incentives, right? And because for me, the incentive is financial freedom. It's a decentralized network. But if that's not interesting to people, then the only way is to bring those people in is going to be incentives, you know? So I don't think it's self-evident to me that people are going to think the USD coin is a shit coin and immediately move over to a decentralized coin. The only way that's going to happen is if there's a reason to do so, you know, and it being decentralized is not a reason for the average person to move over. If it were, then there would be a lot more people that have cryptocurrency than there are.
We'd have a migration right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of knowledge base or lack of. I think it's just as important to teach people how the Federal Reserve System and the fiat dollar works, as much so as how Bitcoin or Cardano works. Because once you know how fiat works, you'll understand why Bitcoin and Cardano exist.
Yeah. So we got a couple more questions and we're logging off. Digital yen is coming, followed by the dollar, all in good time, maybe 10 years max. I agree with that. I was thinking that's kind of my timeline's 10 years. Federal Reserve is already working on digital assets, easy within 5 years.
I agree. 5 years, my guess.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll spend that long waiting for Bitcoin and others to blow up.
Yeah, you could be right for sure. I don't have enough data, honestly, to make a good judgment, but I always thought, I thought max 10 years, you know.
I'll do some research.
They'll still print to infinity. Yeah. I mean, to think about it. I mean, what they do, so they printed $3 trillion at least. So they type 3, 0, 0, 0 with a keyboard. Hopefully the keyboard was mechanical. You know, they have so much money over there. I'm sure it was. So they're just clicking 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then click enter, and then it just adds it. And then from then, I mean, so it's like there would be nothing that would change, you know what I mean? From them having USD coin, they already type it into a computer and then give that to the banks or give that to the big businesses or, you know, or the $1,200 to the citizens, you know. It's pretty funny. Thomas said, man, I thought I was getting paid for dumps at work was pretty sweet, but this is so much better. I appreciate that, man. It's really an honor to me that this was more enjoyable than a dump because, I mean, on the dopamine scale, taking a dump's pretty high, man. So that's a big honor.
At work, getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another factor of 2 right there, man.
Right?
So got a cheers glass.
Imagine watching this now while taking a shit at work. How just epic that whole thing would be. Yeah.
So we got, watch the whole stream. Thank you, Camera Media Group. I really appreciate that, man. It was a long one. It was the longest live stream I've ever done in history. I would like, I'm going to start doing longer stuff. I like long form discussion. People don't have to watch it all. That's why I'm doing the clip channel. But the Cardano Aura in the future if I have someone who's highly technical and can talk for 2 hours, they're going to do it. I would like that. I would like it to be a long form discussion. It's if you don't like it, then you can watch the clips, man. That's why I have the Big Pay Clips channel. So if you guys please check out that channel, come to the Discord. I'll send you the link if you would like to check it out. It's my new channel. It's going to be clips and other things that I don't want to include on my main channel. So people
Thanks
that want
for letting us come on here and demonetize the channel and go crazy a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was the anniversary stream, man, of Cardano.
Birthday.
It was the birthday. If you guys want T-shirts, come to the Discord, DM me, and I have your names written down, so I'll send those T-shirts out to you. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I have a stream on Friday with Kyle, Kaizen, and Mark. A lot of cool stuff. Third Cardano Aura episode. I would appreciate the support, either live or on the stream afterwards. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Anything else you want to say, Anthony?
I think that's it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for having me on. It's always a good time. I like talking with you guys, and thanks for staking with Bloom or staking with the Cardano network. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Happy Cardano.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cardano. Cool.